Have you ever been using an AI art image generator such as Midjourney or Bing Create specifically to create text? Maybe you're making a logo, maybe you're trying to make some funny design with your name, only to be met with extremely poor results, just gibberish everywhere. Well, you're not alone. This is something that AI image generators have struggled with since their inception. However, I have a great solution for you today. A new AI image generator called Ideogram AI has surfaced recently, and it boasts some really impressive specifications. You see, not only can it do really impressive realistic imagery and depictions of pop culture characters, but it can do near perfect text every time, and can incorporate it into really amazing logos as well. In today's video, I want to take a deep dive into this new Ideogram AI. We're going to put it in a bunch of different scenarios and see how it behaves compared against Midjourney, and most importantly, teach you guys how you can get access. First of all, let's talk layout. We got a prompter right up at the top to generate images. If I type something in here right now and click generate, it's going to make a public generation on my account. Right under that, we see recent, trending, following, and top. Interestingly enough, it is called Ideogram, so this is more than just an AI image generator. It's actually kind of like this little AI social media website. Kind of the first of its kind almost in a lot of ways. You can already see there's a lot of really popular images for reasons that I think are self-explanatory. The coherent text for one, and also the pop culture references. But there is also a trending tab right here for some images that have gotten likes recently, and then of course a recent tab to see the most recent images generated with Ideogram. It's very evident that this thing can do text very well. It is best in its class at that. The prompt was specifically asking for Rip Midjourney to be the text on the sign, and it definitely made that neon sign saying Rip Midjourney. Although we can see the other examples here only got the rip part correctly, it still did create the sign in one of the generations. Sometimes it'll do interesting stuff such as this, where you're looking for a sleeveless t-shirt showing an I Heart Joe Biden tattoo on Trump. It kind of ignores that request but still puts the I Heart Joe Biden but on a shirt, which in this case seemed to be good enough. That being said, you might still be able to prompt this thing to produce that result. And the hit rate for this specific one seems to be pretty darn good. And by the way, the AI was also able to understand that the word heart wasn't spelt out and it was an actual photo of a heart. Pretty cool. This might actually be the most impressive example I have seen yet. This is a poster of a theoretical movie, The Dogfather, with a literal pug here and the actual Godfather logo, but saying The Dogfather, actually spelled correctly and in the correct font. Very, very impressive to say the least, and obviously, you know, the other hits weren't as good, but this one, man, that blew my mind. We've also got examples of text that is a little bit longer, and again, you can see the hit rate on these. Out of the 4 images generated here, 3 of them had perfectly correct text, with this one just being the most coherent and pleasing to look at. This is 4 words spelt correctly here in a nice overall design. Logo designs are honestly even more impressive though, with the font maintaining the same exact style as the rest of the logo, and honestly quite all of these have correct text. You could actually use these in a little startup business, I think, no problem. Or take this one, for example, with this really simplistic, hard-lined design and correct spelling. This is pretty crazy stuff. And you can't forget a good joke every once in a while, with this one saying the Ideogram logo looks like a fart. I mean, that's a full sentence written out here. And yeah, I gotta say that Ideogram logo up in the corner does kind of look like a fart. Now, before we dive into using this thing for ourselves and the comparisons with Midjourney, I'd like to mention a little contest I'm gonna hold. This thing is on a waitlist right now. I'll link that waitlist down below and you guys can sign up. I was lucky enough to get access, but I do have 10 invites to give out to you guys at home. So what I would like you guys to do is either comment down on this video below or go to my Discord server linked down below and paste your prompt idea you want to try out in Ideogram AI. And I will pick the 10 best ones to get access to Ideogram. Now, if you don't end up getting access, that's okay, because later in this video I will talk about a quick and easy way that you might be able to get in. Let's dive into some testing. Let's try to make some text ourselves. This is going to be a pretty basic prompt. Logo design for a watermelon farm. Text says watermelon world, theme park and farm style. Just interested to see what we get for some styles. Now, when you're generating with Ideogram AI, you got a few options here. They have a bunch of these different little styles: photo, cinematic, fantasy, vibrant, all kinds of stuff to choose from. Or you can go no style at all. For this prompt, I'm going to go no style. And then we've also got some different aspect ratios. 10:16, which is a portrait aspect ratio, 1:1, which is just a square, and 16:10, which is more of a movie aspect ratio. We'll go 1:1 here and click generate. Generation time is actually pretty quick with Ideogram AI. It's nothing too bad. About the same as Midjourney or DALL-E or any of the rest. And as you can see, your photos actually become blurry before they get sharper and sharper over time, so you can kind of see what you're generating. Off the bat, we got some really coherent text and nice looking logos overall. They're all watermelons, and they all say Watermelon World for the most part. This one's a little bit squiggly. This one, obviously, 2 T's here, 2 E's here, and we're missing that L. But that's no problem. If we like, let's say, this logo the best, even though it has incorrect spelling, we can click the remix button up here and use the same exact prompt to essentially keep that similar design and rerun the whole thing. And that's honestly one of the best features of Ideogram AI here, is they've got this sort of build-off method where you can remix photos over and over again to try to get the overall best photo for yourself. As you can see, now we've got all these similar logo designs, and hopefully some of them are going to have the correct text. And now that they've generated, I've actually got another logo that I like even more with the actual world and then watermelon, so we can continue off of this and remix yet again. The text is a little bit more coherent. The melon is spelled correctly, but we've got 2 E's over here, so we're actually getting a little bit closer. There's a real, true, awesome creative aspect to generating with this build-off method. It really seems to bring out some creativity that you normally would not achieve with something like Midjourney. Although Midjourney does have a similar feature, it's not enabled by default, and it doesn't feel as inspired as this. And as you can see, we actually ended up with some correct spelling over here eventually, and a really, really awesome, passionate, and unique logo design that we never would have seen otherwise with another image generator. Watermelon spelled correctly, world at the bottom also spelled correctly, and a really cool design. Half watermelon and then like this farmy area. It's just really cool looking, honestly, and we'll give that one a like. Why don't we go ahead and see what Midjourney would do for the same exact prompt. Right off the bat, we can see that Midjourney is just not giving us results that are as good. It just says Workitian, Wilpatan, Walker to Man. I mean, not even close. While the design of the logos are sharp and cool looking, they're just not nearly as correctly spelled. Well, let's go ahead and try the remix feature of Midjourney. We'll go ahead and pick a logo design we like and then submit it with the same exact prompt to see if the text gets any closer. And it's pretty much the exact same effect. Just more gibberish without anything close to Watermelon World being spelled out. And I mean, these logo designs are pretty cool looking and I like them a lot. Just no coherent text at all. A lot of you might comment on the sharpness of the overall image, saying that Midjourney just has a nice, more clear, sharp level to it. That might be true, but I think the text is more important, and this thing is still in beta. It's not even open access yet, so it's only going to get better. We'll try another simple yet complex prompt, such as this one. Photo of a sign that warns Mario Brothers are ahead. So it needs to make a realistic road sign, and we'll specify that it's a road sign, but taking the idea of these characters. We'll go ahead and do a portrait aspect ratio and actually do the photo style. And by the way, you can actually select more than one style at once. Without even specifying any text, it actually will generate coherent text. It understands language. This one literally just says Mario are ahead, so not the most coherent, but this one says brothers are ahead. Let's go ahead and remix this sign, and this time we will give it some more specific text. We'll put this in quotations, and we'll say with a Mario logo. Alright, with this one we did not necessarily get that Mario logo, however we did get one option here that has perfect text that says Mario Brothers are ahead. And this one tried to do that classic Mario font. So that's pretty interesting. Again, how do you think Midjourney will compare? Well, Midjourney might have liked to include Mario's face in all of these road signs. We have no coherent text at all, not even close to being visible on any of these. And yes, these images are more sharp. But sharpness definitely isn't everything, especially when you're not creating any coherent text at all. I think that's a pretty big deal. Now, there actually are some tips and tricks to get optimal text results out of this thing. Essentially, what you want to do is specify it as clearly as you can in the prompt itself. For example, in this prompt, I will go typography that reads MattVidPro AI was here, lemon themed, and see how close we get to coherent text. As you can see, we've got a few misses, but we've also got some hits. This one has a perfect MattVidPro was here written out in typography. This says MattVid was here, but is missing the pro. And this one says Lemon VidPro was here. This just says was here. Still, all correct words in here, and one of them was perfect. And honestly, just saying text that says and then having the words in quotations seems to work really quite well anyways. But again, don't be afraid if you have to remix a couple times to get your text right. You'll see that quite a lot of these had multiple remixes to get a correct result. Let's go ahead and try some photorealism. Photo of a Shih Tzu wearing a bumblebee costume. We'll do photo and cinematic for this. We'll put it in the 16:10 aspect ratio, and we'll copy this and compare it directly with Midjourney. This is a situation in which I think Midjourney is going to do better than Ideogram AI. While all of these images no doubt are dogs wearing bumblebee costumes, and they look pretty decent, the breed of dog is definitely not consistent with what I specifically asked for. And of course, Midjourney absolutely nails this with completely photorealistic images of the exact breed of dog I was looking for wearing that specific costume. So it crushed it in comparison to Ideogram AI. And again, Ideogram AI is still being developed, so it's good in some use cases and not so great in others. Let's do a quick logo comparison with Midjourney. So I'm going to say a social media app that's lemon themed, and we'll do the same prompt in Midjourney. Out of the gate, very minimalist designs. This one's the only one that's discernibly a lemon, I would say, and this one actually has the word lemon written out. I don't know, overall, I think Midjourney did just a slightly better job with these logos. I really like this one in the bottom corner with the little lemon face. Let's do something a little bit sillier. A logo for a company that will fill your house with beans. I definitely like the simplicity of this logo right here with just the bean inside of the house. Midjourney did a pretty similar job, I would say, although this one's pretty good with a house kind of made of beans. So this is now going to be a poster, and I believe that's one of our styles. Yes, a poster style. And we'll also give this one to Midjourney. As we can see, Ideogram AI has some basic beans 1950s poster stuff going on, but we do get some correct text here saying, fill your house with beans. The rest of them did not have as high of a hit rate as this one on the end, so I'm actually going to go ahead and remix that one and see if we get better results. Taking a look at what Midjourney did, no coherent text at all, but an arguably more sharp and detailed 1950s poster overall. What we really want is that sharpness from Midjourney along with that coherent text. And as you can see now, all of them are pretty much getting the text correct, saying fill your house up with beans and the woman holding the beans. Check these out. These are some really impressive designs. It got the Cookie Monster correct with the slogan. I want to see how Midjourney would do with something like this as well, using this as our comparison. Take a look at how good that text is. Oh my god. Midjourney generated a literal horror poster or something like that, or a horror t-shirt design. These are terrifying. He looks like a true Cookie Monster. I mean, he looks like he's going to hurt you. So I actually kind of like these designs from Midjourney, but not for the same reason that I like the ones from Ideogram here, which, to be honest, follows the prompt a lot better and I think created overall better imagery. But like, dude, what is going on here? Come on, Midjourney, this is terrifying. And obviously, no coherent text to be seen. I'm going to rip off this prompt here and modify it slightly. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Alright, you can see what I was going for here, although none of these look like Chris Pratt saying this. Maybe we'll do a quick remix? Oh god, these are just only getting more and more scary. These still came out pretty cool looking, but this thing definitely doesn't know who Chris Pratt is. Now, if you guys are wondering how all of this is possible, how you can get so many really great images and such coherent text out of it, well, first of all, they've actually raised $16.5 million in seed financing. But they're also a team of world-renowned AI experts. with these Twitter handles as just some of the few. And they've already made significant contributions to generative AI, such as the actual development of denoising diffusion models in the first place at Google Brain. So they know what they're doing, and that's why I have a lot of hope for Ideogram AI. The proof with this one truly is in the pudding, no doubt. So, you want to get access to this thing. Well, again, that first way would be to type down below the prompt that you want to use, and I will select some winners. But they do have a Discord server that I'm also going to link down below, and every user who has access to Ideogram does actually have 10 invites to give out. So it may be possible that one of the community members on here would give you access. Now, I wouldn't just go on to the Discord and start begging for access or anything like that, but maybe if you strike up a friendly conversation with someone, there are a ton of Ideogram users already on that Discord server. And maybe some of them are willing to give away invites. Let me know which of the images blew your mind the most down in the comments below. It's pretty clear this thing does extremely coherent text, and it beats out Midjourney in that specific class, where Midjourney maintains dominance in some of the photorealistic aspects and stuff like that. If you like this video and you want to see more generative AI content, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.